Hi guys, welcome to another episode of my channel, Perry Says. Thank you so much for joining me, and if it is your first time, welcome to the family. Please subscribe, please like and share this video, and if you are joining me, again, welcome and thank you for staying loyal to the movement. Thank you for supporting me and thank you for watching this video. Now on today's video, we're going to be talking about faith. And for me, I feel like a lot of the times we hear this word faith and it's preached so much because it's such an important principle of the Bible and an important principle of our Christian walk. But today I want to simplify it just a bit. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to turn my Bible to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, right? We must always start at the beginning. How does the Bible define faith? So, faith is the confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Now, that is the NIV version. And another version says, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things that are not seen. Now, my interpretation of scripture in this regard is there are two types of faith, I believe. I believe there's that stubborn faith. There's that faith where you press on in prayer, you press on, you make your prayer requests and supplications made known to God. You're persistent in your fasting and in applying your faith and taking bold steps because you've been praying and trusting God for this particular thing. The sort of faith that you find in the story about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the kind of faith that you find in that story about the lady with the issue of blood, the kind of faith that King Hezekiah, who turned his face to the Lord and made his case made known to God. That's the kind of faith that we can talk about another day. But today I just want to talk about just faith. Just do it. Just step into it. You know, that faith of a mustard seed, the size of a mustard seed, where you say, okay, I don't have it figured out, but I'm just going to do it. You say, Lord, you've placed this idea in my heart, so I'm going to trust you and I'm going to do it. And angazi ukuthi kuzokwenzakalani phambili, but ngizobona khona. All I know is that this thing is in my heart. All I know is that I want to do this and I'm going to trust God to see me through. And that is sort of the principles that I've applied in my life. That's sort of how I roll with God. So there's been many times where I just say things and I just do things, trusting God that He will see me through. And it's normally things where there's that small voice in my heart and in my spirit that says, do it. Like, shoot your shot type of thing. You know? And for me, I always try to exercise that bit of faith in the simplest of things. A couple of weeks ago, I had bought inyama. I had bought like meat from a friend who supplies meat. And I sectioned my meat and I put it in the deep freezer and I was good to go for the month. And then electricity yahamba. So then I was like, okay, no, maybe it's hamba for a couple of minutes and then it's maybe a few hours at max. 6 hours, 7 hours, guess nowhere to be found. And I remember saying to God, hey, Lord, I just spent money on a whole lot of meat. So if electricity is going to be gone for more than 12 hours, going on to 24 hours, which it has happened before, what now must happen to my meat? So please, can the electricity come back for my sake, for the sake of my meat, you know? And I just said, like, the electricity is going to come back. And within an hour, the electricity was back. And I mean, I know it's not that deep, but I just want to demonstrate how we should be with God and how we should trust God like little children. a child is always expectant to go to, if mom says she's going to do this, she'll do it. And if dad says he'll do this, he'll do it. How much more God, who's our Father and who created us in his image, when we say, I'm going to start the business, how much more do we trust God with our faith? How much more do we trust God to say, okay, I'm starting that venture, I'm entering that relationship, whatever happens, happens. I'm taking that job, I'm moving to that city. I've moved cities quite a bit in my career. And every time I've signed that offer letter, it's always been, I don't know anyone in Polokwane, but I'm going. And I think the 2 years in Polokwane that I was there, it was like, I had the best times of my life in Polokwane. I had the best times of my relationship with God and understanding who he is when you're in a city where you know no one and the only person you know is God. So it's things that have worked for me, and it's the type of faith where I've just said, ngizobona phambili, you know, let me take this offer, let me take this opportunity, let me start this YouTube channel. Because even starting this channel, for a long time it was like, what am I going to talk about? Yeah, everybody's starting a channel, so what? I'm going to do it, you know. And sizobona phambili, I'll work on it, I'll pray on it, but I've started it. And that is what I'd like to encourage everybody who's watching this episode today, to say, just do it. Uzobona phambili. Just have that, take that leap of faith. I think that's the best way to put it. That leap of faith, that first step into the unknown, and trust God that my victory is inevitable. My success is inevitable because God is walking with me. I'm not doing it by myself. I'm doing it with God. And the more you take these risky behaviors, the more you take these risky steps in your life, in your career, in your finances, in the little things, in your friendships, I believe it's the more that God trusts you with even bigger things. So I'm a strong believer that the more you do something, the easier it becomes. The more you trust God, the more you take risks, it becomes easier for you to apply your faith. So yeah, so that's my bit on simple faith. I'm gonna title the episode today Simple Faith, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope somebody is encouraged. I hope somebody has learned something, and I will see you in the next episode.